How do I even start this video? Around yesterday, Drake officially filed a lawsuit against his label, UMG, for defamation over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us. I actually read all 81 pages of what Drake and his attorneys had to say about this whole thing, and after doing so, I've come to the conclusion that they aren't saying shit. Not only is Drake and his team misinterpreting the whole situation, there are some claims in there that are just straight up false. The court document begins with a story about how there was a shooting incident outside of Drake's mansion. Apparently, one of his security guards had to be hospitalized from the whole situation, and there was also this dude that dug a hole in an attempt to enter his home, which is pretty wild if you ask me. However, I think this is important to bring up because I just don't see how UMG is liable for all this. Remember, Drake is suing his label, not Kendrick. And even if he is suing Kendrick himself, I don't think he should be held accountable for that either. Not Like Us is a track making fun of Drake, not inciting violence against him. But according to this court document, it says the recording also repeatedly suggests that violence should be used against Drake because he is a like the sound of someone beaten up. The recording repeats whop 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 and then says Lamar will fuck them up. First of all, it's 5 whops, not 4. Second, Kendrick didn't unleash a Nurex swarm into people's brains in order to try and get them to cause civil unrest in Drake's property just because he said whop 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 whop. Using this to prove your point is just sad. After this, it shows how UMG was responsible for allowing Kendrick to release Not Like Us and distribute it to the mass audience, knowing that the song contained false accusations of Drake himself, resulting in many people now believing that Drake is a certified pedophile. Should UMG be held liable for all this? In my opinion, no. Why should UMG be the one responsible for fact-checking everything in a song that an artist wants to release? It is literally the label's job to promote the songs that the artist drop, not just for the artist's benefit, but to the label's own interest as well. At the end of the day, the music industry is all about money. Then we get to the part where UMG should be held responsible in its role for promoting a song calling Drake a pedophile, mentioning how a single lie can destroy a reputation of integrity, and while it takes years to build a reputation, it can be ruined in 5 minutes. Drake's team is pretending that Not Like Us is directly responsible for people making jokes about Drake liking underage teens, when there's literal footage of you kissing a 17-year-old on stage, even knowing that she was underage. There was this whole Millie Bobby Brown controversy and the questionable relationship you had with her. You even said some lyrics in the past that I think can be interpreted as suspect. But now all of a sudden, UMG is suddenly responsible for your career's meltdown as if you've never exhibited behavior that many would label predatory. He's just pretending to be oblivious about the whole situation and, like I said before, playing victim. We then get to the part of the lawsuit where it goes from being overly serious to just straight up comedic. The document basically quotes a bunch of lines from Not Like Us and uses it to justify Drake's hollow case. Within the first minute, the recording identifies Drake by name and states that Lamar's heard that Drake has a predilection for underage women. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. The next line is a thinly veiled threat that Drake should be careful that he ends up in prison, a place where child predators are notoriously the targets of violence. The recording continues to say that any women who falls in love with Drake should be careful to hide their little sister from him. Next, in a perverse reference to Drake's 2021 album Certified Lover Boy, Certified Pedophiles. The recording says that Drake is trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. Yeah, this is straight up Karen activity. I just can't. Later, the recording threatens that if Drake comes to Oakland where Lamar grew up, he will not make it out alive. I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop. The person that Kendrick is referring to on this line is Tupac in response to Drake's tailor-made freestyle where he used an AI version of Tupac to diss him. Kendrick didn't grow up in Oakland, he grew up in Compton. It's like the people writing this lawsuit couldn't even bother up to pull up genius and look beyond what's surface level. Also, proclaiming that Drake won't make it out of Oakland alive is, to me, completely normal. When you disrespect the city, don't be surprised if the people of that city you are dissing will show animosity to you. So how is that even a threat? At the end of the recording, the lyrics threateningly repeat, hey, 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 run for your life. He's not talking to you, Drake. He's talking to the kids. The recording threatens that Lamar could reveal more secrets about Drake. Rabbit hole still deep, I can go further, I promise. Well, Drake, I hate to break it to you, but that's how a rap battle works. When two opponents start throwing darts at each other, both sides are gonna write and publish songs about stuff the other side doesn't want the public to hear. If you don't want to deal with this whole fiasco, don't start the whole fucking beef with Kendrick then. Going back to tailor-made freestyle, you were the first one to instigate this narrative of you potentially liking kids. Talk about him liking young girls, that's a gift from from me. Even on the song Another Late Night, which is a track off of Drake's last album, it's not even part of the whole beef, weirdos in my comments talk about some Millie Bobby look, bring them jokes up to the gang we get to really flocking. So you yourself brought up the narrative of you liking young girls, but then proceeds to have a problem when Kendrick plays into the narrative of you liking young girls. All of a sudden, now you're not happy about the whole situation? This entire lawsuit sees Drake and his team bashing UMG's decision to distribute Not Like Us to the public when Drake himself made the song Family Matters, which also contains a bunch of lines that attempt to defame Kendrick. You talked about how he was a wife beater on that song. You talked about how he wasn't the father of his own child. Sure, you can make the case that the allegations Kendrick is levying against Drake is more serious than vice versa, but at the end of the day, defamation is defamation. UMG is simply sitting at the bleachers watching you two fight in the ring. They're not picking sides. They're just doing their due diligence of releasing these tracks for the public to hear. The reason why Not Like Us was the track that popped off the most is simply because the audience fucks with that track more. The lawsuit then proceeds to blame the success of Not Like Us at how it was whitelisted so that the reaction channels on YouTube could profit off of reacting to the song. It even name drops a bunch of creators, Kais and Nat, No Life Shaq, RDC. It's no secret that YouTube's copyright policies are getting stricter and stricter. But I don't think copyright was gonna stop reactors from reacting to the song anyway. They reacted to your songs too, so they're not picking sides here. At the end, the lawsuit makes a game theory that UMG is doing this because Drake's contract with UMG is expiring and that they don't want to renew his contract no more. That's why they're allowing all of this to happen. This might be the most dumbfounded argument out of the whole video. Drake has been with UMG since 2009. Drake has brought so much revenue to the label due to many of his songs gaining billions of streams. At one point in his career, he was the most popular rapper in the whole world, and you can still make the case that he still retains that position. Why would UMG all of a sudden want to cut ties with you? It would be a huge financial loss if they do so. It just doesn't make any sense. Oh, and one more thing before I leave. The lawsuit mentions how UMG used its global publishing division to spread Not Like Us to the public. Look at the song below Not Like Us. It's Family Matters! The jokes write themselves. The fact that more people are siding with a multi-billion-dollar company just shows how unpopular you are. And the most confusing part to me is actually not the content within a lawsuit, but the lawsuit itself. We just need to take a step back and ask ourselves, what does Drake even gain from this? If Drake lost, his perception is going to be forever altered by this event, but even if he managed to do the impossible and somehow win against UMG with his shitty arguments, what is preventing Kendrick from doing the same thing to UMG? He should be able to sue them over Family Matters as well. And I feel like most people are still gonna clown Drake regardless of the outcome. He is literally the most pathetic rapper alive.